Let's get ready to rumble!
Yo, what's up, what's good, everybody? We are here live, and this is the July 5th, 2020 episode of the Boxing Source Radio Show. I am your host, James Bell, lead boxing analyst for the cohort Truth on Sports and the leader of the Boxing Source on social media. You could catch us on Facebook by following the Boxing Source. You can also follow us on Instagram at the Boxing Source, through Twitter at Boxing Source 2, and follow the YouTube channel through the Boxing Source. Number to dial in is 347-237-5539. That's 347-237-5539. Press one key to get on queue. You'll be able to talk live on the show. I got my guest over here, Greg Hackett, that's here with me live over at Fight Firm, and I wanted to bring in our special guests. It seems like they are all ready to go. This is from the 202 area code checking in. All right. And this is Brother Bernard. Yeah, checking in. Yeah, you hear us? Okay, so we got that, and then 443's on here with us as well.
That's my dog.
Yeah. What's going on?
Peace to all the brothers out there. How y'all feeling?
What's up, Womack?
You all good. I had to take this to my office, man. I saw this, man. You feel me? But I'm going to let y'all go in, just go in and get it started, man. I'm going to listen in.
Yeah, gotcha. No doubt. So 202, just give us a brief thing about what you got going on over in the Washington D.C. area, and then we'll get it cracking from there.
Oh, this black man, the referee, man. I'm really proud that Jalil Hackett, man, came a long way in the amateur career, and I'm his biggest fan, man.
Oh, true that. So you called in pretty much at the start of this joint. So we got them scheduled in for 8. So I'm gonna call to confirm pretty much about 15 minutes from now. And then he'll jump on at 8. And we'll be going through a few things with him on there. But meantime, like I said, I'm over here at Fight Firm over in the Philadelphia area with my man Greg Hackett. So man, we could rap a little bit about what's going on. So what's been good, Greg?
I mean, everybody trying to just make it through this COVID-19 situation. Everybody trying to stay focused. It's not the easiest thing, but it's being done. My squad been in the gym. We've been working through it, and that's about it. We just looking forward to these dates coming.
Yeah, because I know that you had a few people around the Philadelphia area that have been in some of these boxing events that have taken place over the past few weeks.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Yeah, what's up, Greg? That's my bad.
What's up, Bernard?
No, this is Womack, nigga.
Oh, that's Womack. What's up, Womack? My bad.
All right, my bad. I ain't mean nothing about you, bro.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, we kind of talked about it, at length about what's going on here at Fight Firm, and how you're able to still do what you can do even in these circumstances, and people are still able to come in here and come in to do work. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, we look at it like this: if we sit back and we sit in the house and not do nothing, then we ain't gonna be able to get no work done. It ain't gonna be no progress. So, you know what I mean? We looked at it like, listen, I told my guys, I said, listen, I know that it's a chance of guys getting sick and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's a chance that we will fall off completely. You know what I mean, on our timing and things like that. So I said we need to be in the gym. So like I said again the other day, you know what I mean, thank God that we have a private gym and we can open. And you know what I mean, we even when we wasn't supposed to be open, we was open because you know what I mean, we got to get this work done. So
yeah, exactly, man. I mean, you can't, you know, just even with the situation that's going on, you never know when action is gonna, you know, pick up for any other fighters. So
right.
They still got to stay focused and
Right.
What they need to do out there. I'm gonna see if I can add, one caller in a 267 area code. What's going on right now? You're on the Boxing Stores Radio Show. Yo, what up, Mel? Yo, no, we just coming in here for the first 30 minutes. And I'm talking with your boy Greg over here. You know how things are going on here at the gym, because even with the situation that's out there with the COVID-19 thing, like we're having action right now. I mean, Top Rank has had good amount of cards over the past few weeks, and we've seen a few fighters from this area be in action, and I think another one is going to be coming up soon. So you got to get these guys ready, because you never know when that call is going to be made. You know what I mean? All right.
Greg, I feel like you're maybe the most underrated trainer in the area, definitely like the East Coast. Why do you think that people overlook you?
Honestly, I don't think it's that people overlook me. I think it's when you really think about boxing and you think about starting from the amateur ranks. I never was a big amateur, and then I made my name as a pro fighting some of the guys who were the best in the world. So a lot of times it's just I don't know this guy. I don't know him personally, and I don't know his work. Now, as a coach, I've been doing some good things, and what I mean, I don't look at it like I need to be rewarded or somebody need to give me some type of acknowledgments. I think what it is just my age. I'm 33 years old. I'm the same age as some of your world-class fighters out here right now. So I've been coaching for 8 years, you know what I mean? But that's not really a long time, but it's long enough for a guy that's only 33. So, you know what I mean? I just look at it like, my time is coming. I say within the next 2 years, 21, 22, I have my breakout years.
Let me chime in on that too, because I got an opinion. Can I chime in on that too? Yeah, right. Right there. Oh, you had a rebuttal right there after your question?
No, you good.
Yes, sir. Anyway, look, Greg, look. I think people still seeing you as a fighter, you know what I mean? Because if you really want to step back and put things in perspective, you know what I mean? What do you think? You got somewhere around if you wanted to continue in the sport of boxing, maybe you could participate in the sport for maybe another 7 or 8 years, because I'm 31 and I'm feeling like I got 7 or 8 more years in the sport if I wanted to dedicate this half of my life to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, I feel.
And they look. Yeah, they've been in the game in the last 10 years. It's not that they don't know you, because they know you.
Yeah.
You know? They just still see you as a fighter, bro.
I mean,
I still see you as a fighter.
That's Womack, right?
Yeah.
All right, so my answer to that is, I realized a long time ago they're not going to call me to fight just anybody. You know what I'm saying? The guys I fight is at the top of their game, or they either a lot bigger. They're not going to give me, and I'm not saying that like I've been walking around 140 pounds, but let's just say I did get down to 140 pounds, 147 pounds. Are you really going to put your 7-0 guy in there, kid in there with Greg Hackett? Are you going to do that? You know what I'm saying? That's not smart.
Yeah, they have to sometimes.
No, they really
have to sometimes.
They
be under the pressure. Because how I get them.
Go ahead.
Under the pressure to find people who are willing to fight, so they have to.
No,
they have to do it. At some point, they have to fight.
you right to some you right to some extent, but they're gonna always make excuses and they're gonna always jump around me. And the only reason I stuck to training the way I did was because I realized with training I really don't have the tolerance to play with anybody like I do with fighting. Fighting, I look at it a whole different way. You know what I mean? I just look at that as a ride on the bike. I'm having fun. But with training, I don't let my guys move out the way I did. So I'm a lot more serious, a lot more strategic, a lot more strict, you know what I mean, with my training. So that's why I stick with the training. Because if I really tried to come back and fight and really get down to my natural weight, which would be 47, 54, somewhere around there, a lot of these guys wouldn't even fight me.
Come on, boy. I'm around there. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think them guys will fight me. I really don't.
Hey, can I sit down? I don't fight anybody.
Yeah, I know that.
Where'd you live at? Hey, can I tell you?
He came on at 8.
What's up, man? I need to holler at Shorty. That's what I'm on here for. Can I chime in? Hey, can I chime in? Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
What's up, Greg, man? It's Black, man. You cut, man, baby.
Yeah,
hey,
you
Greg,
know what?
in my eyes, man, Hey, Greg, in my eyes, man, you one of the best fighters, man, I've seen, man, and I got much respect for you, man. You know what I'm saying? For me, when I first met you, when you fought in DC, man, you always call me back, man, and I love you, man, and I got much respect for you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Love you too, Black.
You what you call a world warrior, man. Because you ain't scared to fight nobody.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Black.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing, that I was talking with Greg, about the other day. I mean, it had like a extended interview that will be on the YouTube channel sometime later this week. When he goes through like his his pro career and everything like that, and how he pretty much had to do things almost on the fly when it came to like being called on short notice and things like that. So he'll be able to go through all of that, and I'll have all that on the YouTube channel and whatnot. So definitely be on the lookout for that. You know what I mean? So but other things here over at Fight Firm, I've been over here a couple times. Brother Jalil has been here pretty much almost every other day or something like that. So I mean, he knows the work ethic that people have once they step into this gym. So, kind of like talk about, what it is like step into this gym and, being able to work.
I mean, Fight Firm I look at it like we're a gym for the people, you know what I mean? Meaning you can be a doctor and come in here and work. You can be, a nurse or whatever, come in here and work, a lawyer. But then we also accept guys off of the street, the mean streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we allow, kids to come in here and get busy. Some of your toughest pros walking around is in here, whether they sparring or they training here. You know what I mean? We just a place where we accept work. Like we don't come in here talking too much, playing around too much. Just come in here and work. You know what I mean? And we having fun. We good from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true that. So with that thing, going down, I mean, like I said, it's something when you step into the gym and it's like, yeah, I know that, like I said it earlier, like once you step in here, like you're gonna work a sweat. Shoot, you working a sweat standing here right now, pretty much we on live on YouTube and whatnot, and you can see that we out here, we going through it right now. I mean, there ain't no fans, but we going to work right now, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like, stepping in here, that you're going to get everything that you need to get from this gym.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, kind of like, focus on that a little bit, but also like kind of go into, some of the, like say some of the fighters that step into this, I
mean, we got Paul Crow here, 7-0, 6 knockouts as a pro. Jabril Noble, amateur 11-2 pro. Amateur.
Mm-hmm.
We got Tyreek Carroll. Not Tyreek Carroll. I'm sorry. Yeah, Tyreek Carroll is here. He 0-1. He has a draw. as a pro at 160 pounds, but a very talented fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, we got, honestly, it's hard right now, you're thinking on the fly, but we got a bunch of guys in here, man. There's always good work coming through here. And as of recently, this last month, Rasheem Jefferson brought his whole squad down here. So they've been training here too. You know what I mean?
True that. Hey, Jamil, you got something additional to add as far as like being or coming through here at Fight Firm?
It's real similar like Donald Calvin and Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Like JR, if you're not doing anything, you gotta catch a fight for sparring session. And you can tell that there's a lot of young kids that just love the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And from time to time, you get fighters that are, pampered. You can tell they're doing it just to make money, or they're doing it just because they just so happen to be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fighters that come down there, man, they want the smoke.
Mm-hmm. So I see how that is carrying on and whatnot like that. So yeah, hello.
I mean, it's
it's
a tough place. You know what I mean? The city alone is a tough city. I mean, and we got to do what we got to do. But like I said, that was part of the reason for us staying open during COVID, because I needed these guys in the gym, because if not, they was going to run to the street. You know what I mean? And we don't need that.
Now, Richard, you got a fight coming up this week, right?
Yeah, I'm actually leaving tomorrow to leave out to Vegas with Yosafat Ortiz, and Rasheem Jefferson is his head coach, and he'll be fighting on the top ranked card next Thursday at 130 pounds.
Hey, Greg, you
Yeah, I can hear.
Hey, you all in?
I can hear you.
You talking to me, Greg?
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, you said you fight, or somebody else fight?
Nah, we got a kid named Yosafat Ortiz, 130 pounder. He fighting.
Okay. Hey, Greg, I'm very proud of you, man.
Appreciate you, Black.
Oh,
Black been in my corner a bunch of times. He was there when I fought Jared Hurd.
Hey, Greg, hey, I'm from DC, so I've been all the fights. All the boxers know me. You know what I'm saying? I just like boxing because I like the sport, and I like being around the game of boxing.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first met Greg. He fought at the convention center in DC. And every time he comes to DC, he calls me. I appreciate that.
That's my man, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, Greg, I gotta learn how to rap hands though.
For sure.
Hey, I had someone on hold here for a minute. 443 area code, you on with us?
If you come in and make a meal, let me know, all right?
I think it's like, I think they probably listening in Audible. So, yeah, within about like 12 minutes or so, we're going to have, Jalil Hackett on. He's going to have his, father trainer, Bernard Hackett, on as well. And, we'll have, a few more people joining in with them here within about 12 minutes or so. For those that are like, listening through, YouTube, you can call in 347-237-5539. Yeah, like you were saying, with the, fights that are coming up there through Top Rank or whatnot, it's like, they have that opportunity now because for the time being, Top Rank is the only promotional company that's putting on fight cards on TV here in America. So it's like, some people like really get the shot. This is like, how the Zone usually has their, fights. They usually show every fight. But with Top Rank, usually you didn't really get that. You only got like 2 or 3 fights at a time. But now they showing the whole entire card from fight 1 to fight 5 or whatever it is. So once you, get into that fight card, you have your chance to shine and impress people, they're on there. So, it's kind of like, those guys have to, really work so that by the time they step into the ring, they'll be able to show, they'll be able to show out.
Yeah. I mean, Jamil asked me about a couple months ago, what did I think this would mean for boxing? I mean, I told him, I said, I think it would slow a lot of things up, but at the same time, it would give a lot of exposure to guys who wasn't even scheduled to be on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's actually perfect. I mean, even though that sounds crazy, without it being crowds and stuff like that, but it's perfect because you got guys on a smaller scale who you may never heard of get called in as an opponent on the B side and put on a show. You know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw, they'll be back again.
Usually with stuff like that, you're not able to hear about them unless either one, they kind of like bring it up in some highlights, they're in between, televised fight card, or if, like a whole bunch of people that, attended the fight say, oh man, I know what happened, in the main card, but in the undercard, they had this dude show out, man, like you need to look out for them. You know what I'm saying? But this time here with Top Rank doing the thing like they're doing, they're able to showcase, every single fighter that's on there, no matter what. So, that's kind of like, what I'm looking into. What's that?
I like watching kids fight. Not only does it seem like they want it more, but it gives you like a window into the future. So let me talk. What?
That's true.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily get that type of look.
Like, what's the kid's name that was whooping Joshua Beard at?
Oh, yeah. That kid from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, he nice.
I never heard of him a day in my life.
Yeah.
I became a fan after that night.
That's true.
And you had the thing with the Maloney loss, where Andrew Maloney lost that fight, man. He was not ready for that kid, yo. I was like, man, yeah.
Maloney is the twin brother.
Yeah,
right?
the twin brothers, Andrew and Jason.
They both lost, right?
No, Andrew lost, and then Jason won on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, but Andrew, man, he got knocked down in the 11th round because he was just getting outworked. He just was not ready for that. But that's the type of thing that we kind of like see in some of these cards where you might see like somebody like a 3-0 and 4-0 like Jerry Big Baby Anderson, had his first fight, and then they're bringing him on again. So you're able to see like more of guys like him, that's 3-0, 4-0, that could impress a few people that may not have seen him in his first couple of fights or some of the amateurs, or something like with Robeisy Ramirez, he was able to have his that first fight where he was able to get a first round knockout, and then recently he has that rematch and gets a decision win. So that's the kind of things that we kind of like see here with the cards here on Top Rank, and hopefully other promotional companies are able to work something out like that to where they could have more of the other fighters being able to be featured on television, not just the top or the mid card guys, but some of the ones that are just starting out. I mean, true. So that's mainly
Yeah, I got a question. Okay, how does all those fighters aren't signed to Top Rank? Now they're giving out 3 shows a week, so it doesn't seem like they have a deep enough stable to supply the need for original sports content. ESPN would want. How does a fighter how does a promoter or manager get their fighter on the Top Rank card?
I mean, it's simple. It's simple math. It's simple business. So usually on a fight card, you have about 8 slots, 8, 9, maybe 10 slots, sometimes longer, depending on the magnitude of the card. So being that they're not able to fill the cards, if you are outside promoter or outside manager, all you do is call over and hey, how much it costs to buy a slot? I have a kid. I think he's TV worthy. I would like to showcase him. And they give you a price, and if you agree with the price, then so on and so forth, you go ahead and pay for the bout, and there you go. Just simple business.
The kid that you have, is he with Top Rank, or is it with another promoter?
Nah, he's with well, he's not my kid, but he's with Rasheem Jefferson, but I'm coming in as a second. But he's signed to DeBella Entertainment.
Okay, now Rasheem Jefferson, that's the one that coaches Tevin Farmer.
Yes, sir. He's one of the Tevin Farmer's coaches, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you have those things there where you know kind of like are like you said, like either the trainer or the chief seconds, and so I guess with this one that's coming up, you're gonna be chief second for that particular fight. So kind of like gives you an experience of how they kind of like conduct things over there
Right.
in Vegas and everything like that. Because
Right.
usually they have like a 1 or 2 week testing protocol, and after they go through that, then they just go forward with the fight.
Yeah.
So I mean that's going to be fairly interesting to see that happening there. You said that's like within 2 weeks.
What, the fight?
Yeah.
Next week. Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
next Thursday, man. So yep. So I mean, y'all be on the lookout. We're going to go through those fight cards pretty much on the podcast next week. As we review those those fights that are on that particular schedule through Top Rank. But later on down the line, we'll see if we'll touch on a couple of the fights that are scheduled to happen this week through Top Rank, because that's going to be something there where we're going to be kind of like reviewing or actually previewing those fights that are there. I mean, I know that I did bring up one main event that's coming up, and that's the thing with Carlos Takam there. He's going to be replacing Jalil Miller there, and he's going to have his fight, pretty much his first fight on the Top Rank. Mm-hmm. And he's going up against someone that I kind of like say pretty much like has a curse of some sort, because anytime people are scheduled to fight him, it's usually something ends up happening. So hopefully it doesn't happen this time around, because that's kind of that would kind of like make him like a bag cover curse or something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's like you like it's like you end up scheduled to fight this guy, and then that happens, and then you got this thing here with Jalil Miller, and then that jumps off. So Jerry Forrest, man, like it's like if this thing happens, like it's gonna be like, oh man, and you sign the guys there like a Carlos Takam, a Jalil Miller, like a Tony Yoka, that's on the roster right now, and others, and this is how you kind of like slowly stream them in to be part of your Top Rank fight cards. Yeah. So, but the thing with Jalil Miller is like he already went through a brief suspension after the situation with the Anthony Joshua fight, and now this thing happens where he basically gets tested positive, and that's a real crazy situation right there that he has to go through once again. But if he's not able to kind of like appeal what was going on there, then it's pretty much a wrap for him.
Yeah, for sure.
But like briefly, like going to like something like that when somebody gets caught with like some performance enhancing thing.
I mean, we look at a guy like Jalil Miller as entertaining, but it makes us wonder, how did he get here? Mm-hmm. Because he early on in his career, he had a draw with Joey DeWaco, but then he get these bigger guys and he blowing them out the water. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hold on, man, maybe he did take a U-turn, go ahead and get him some meds, and he started messing around. But mm-hmm. It's bad for the sport, because you putting a bad stink on American fighters, and then you putting a bad stink on yourself, where you got to cheat to compete at the higher level. Yeah. Now, the reason I'm not being so hard on him is because this isn't the first time we've heard of this. I mean, so we're not going to act like it hasn't been great fighters who've been caught. The thing is, getting caught back to back that's the scary part. Yeah. Now, I'm either thinking, he's buying some over-the-counter meds that's not working, or either he's been cheating. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he need to have a real sit down with himself and you know what I mean, and really figure this out. Now, from the outside looking in, being myself, watching Big Baby Miller, to me, he's kind of lazy and he need a boost. So that whatever it is he's taking for that boost, that's what's popping him hot.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, the thing with Joey DeLisco, man, it's like he was able to have the draw with Joey DeLisco and be at one particular condition, and then the next thing you just see him walking through fighters like
Stopping guys.
Gerald Washington, but he just keeps punching,
Yeah.
going up, walking, keep punching,
The output is making me look like, whoa.
Yeah, amazing
Like,
output.
no heavyweight throw the amount of punches that Jalil Mills throws.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless if you're a guy that, well, not someone of his station, because I mean you have active guys like Adam Kalnacki that throws a lot of punches, but he has the arms to do that because he's able to be fluid with it. But someone of his Whittler size is kind of different.
And the difference is with Kalnacki, we watch Kalnacki come up in the amateurs. He fought the same way.
Yeah.
Now you have Big Baby Miller who come out of nowhere,
Hello.
300 pounds, and
Yeah. Yes. So, brother, this is Brother Bernard.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming on here to the Bison Source Radio Show. So we got Brother Bernard Hackett, who is the father and trainer of Mr. Jalil Major Hackett over in the Washington D.C. area. So very thankful for y'all to come on to this particular show. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing good. It's myself, Jalil, and our advisor from Mayweather Promotions, Derrick Curry.
All right, so Derrick Curry is on here with us too.
Yeah, we're all together.
All right, cool. So just wanted to get into it here, with Jalil Major Hackett, young sensation, fighter that's been very notable, over the past couple of years or so. Kind of like go into what he's been doing up to this particular point, up to currently.
We've been training, getting ready for a pro debut, waiting on that phone call of when they're going to have him debut, staying consistent. Thanks to having Derrick with us, who does a lot of the contact with media and things of that nature. You had a great media presence, and we're just trying to stay prepared.
Yeah, gotcha. Like, in this particular, situation with the whole thing with COVID-19, it's like you might have, difficulties of going into the gym or, getting different gyms. So it's like you have to have another, regimen, for training with, Jalil Hackett there. So, like kind of like going to that, like, training either like training at home or, doing things outside instead of like being in the gym if that happens.
Well, yeah, we've been training at home for a little while now since the COVID. We pretty much have everything we need. We have treadmills, bike, pull-up bars, things like that. We have weight. We have a backyard big enough where we can train. The weather has been conducive for us to get it done. And if we are missing anything, I give a shout out to Derrick, and he makes sure we get whatever we're missing.
Yeah, being in the Washington D.C. itself, for the D.C. area, I know like currently right now or over the past week, it's been, as I would say, stupid hot. So, if you want to, get a little good sweat out there, then yeah, you can step outside and, do a little thing, and you'll definitely get what you need from, being outside there for a little bit. But, kind of like going to Jalil's beginnings there in the amateur ranks.
Jalil started out actually playing football. That was my focus for him, to play football and go to college the traditional route. I was training at the time Maurice Byer, former heavyweight prospect, and my son would go to the gym with me, and he enjoyed being at the gym. He always pick up some gloves and punch on the bag. We used to also go over to Gary Russell Jr.'s gym with him and his family. Been very close to them over the years, and he was able to learn a lot of things just being around the gym.
and also Coach Herb Martin. And he told me that he wanted to box instead of play football. I tried everything to deter him from that. But at the end of the day, he said, I want to be a boxer. I don't want to play football anymore. And when he made that decision, all our attention turned towards that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to have a transition there from, football to boxing. Me actually being, while I'm like currently in the Washington, D.C. area, came up through like high school ranks over in Tallahassee, Florida. And, a few of the, classmates that I was with, like they used to play football, but, they ended up going into boxing. Someone like a Travis Walker, that was a heavyweight contender. There you also had like Tavares Cloud, that was a world champion from the Tallahassee area. So that kind of adjustment is, something, but, as long as you stay focused on it and you know what you need to do, to be successful, then you could, translate from being a, great athlete in the football field to being a great boxer, in the ring.
Yeah, true.
So, that's kind of like, part of the thing there. So I wanted to see if, Derrick Curry's on there with us. Okay. Like, brother, Derrick, how is it, working with Jalil Major Hackett and, getting him out there as far as like PR and trying to work things up to, when he does, have a pro debut, that he'll be, out there and people will know, more people will know who he is.
It's been great, actually. It's been pretty smooth. I mean, no real bumps. I mean, the COVID virus, of course, kind of set us back on dates of, his debut. But overall, it's been pretty smooth. I mean, you got a good kid, good upbringing, good background. You ain't got to babysit. You ain't got to tell them to go work out. You ain't got to tell them to, stay out of trouble or anything. So I mean, it's been real easy and smooth with Jalil.
That's excellent. And you're able to kind of like push him out, and with him being affiliated with the money team, that kind of like adds a little bit more to it. But kind of like going to how you were able to link up with Jalil Hackett.
Actually, one of my best friends is friends with Bernard, and so he reached out to me and basically told me that his friend that he had a son that could box, a young guy, and so they wanted to reach out to me. Mm-hmm. And so at that time, I was doing a lot of things, moving around, and so I said, okay, well, I'll reach out to him. And then my friend hit me back again, and he's like, "Man, did y'all connect yet?" I said, "Nah, but I got it on my to-do list." And he had actually, after that, he talked to Bernard, and he hung right up and called me and said, "Man, give him a call right now if you can." So I called Bernard, let him talk, get it off, off the break, and set up a time for me to come see Jalil in the gym. And went to the gym, saw Jalil spar and work out. And I mean, I was impressed, but my thing was, okay, let me wait till he get out of the ring and sit down and talk to him and see where his head is. Right. And I mean, I was even more impressed with his level of intelligence, mannerism, everything for a kid his age to have a maturity level. And, that won me over more than the skill set. Mm-hmm. And after that, it was, I went and saw a couple more times. And, I went back and told Leonard and Floyd, I said, man, we might have something here. And after that, it was pretty much, once Leonard and Floyd seen him, it was a wrap.
So they were like, put him on. Like, what's this song? They were like, put him on. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him, I said, man, we got something good here. And I mean, both of them, they take my advice. They trust my judgment. So Great since then, it's pretty much been a go. Like I said, with the COVID virus, it kind of bumped down, the signing and the debut,
Right.
because we were trying to debut them in actually June and July. But we're not in a major rush. It's going to happen. Hopefully this year. We're looking right now, maybe September, October, if the pandemic kind of curves completely down. If not, then we'll look for the beginning of 2021, and just kind of go from there. But we don't want to, I talked to Leonard and Floyd, and we don't want to just put them on a little, it's his debut. So,
Right.
we don't want to just put them on any little card. We don't want to, my thing is, I don't want him fighting his debut fight without an audience, if we don't have to. So, we patient. Jalil working out every day. He went and sparred the other day for the first time since he was in tank training camp for Tank's fight last December. So, he got no rust out, got to get hit, got hit. Got to hit something, and we just keep moving.
Yeah, true that. I was gonna go into that a little bit with Coach Bernard, because I think y'all were over in outside. I think it was like outside of DC or something like that. So trying to see like y'all had like a little sparring session going down, somewhere. It's not like pretty much in the DC area, but like how was that for brother Jalil?
It was good. He'd been worrying me to death about getting some sparring in. He said he needed to get hit something. And he called and worried me. Well, he worried me at home. Then he called Derrick and worried him. Then he called Leonard and worried him. Like we're gonna get you some sparring, man, but hold up. To the point where Leonard called me and said, we gotta find him a fight. He just wanted to spar. He just wanted to hit something. So Coach Calvin, who trained Javante Davis, he reached out to me and said, hey man, we going into Philly, get some sparring. Let me throw Jalil on there. And he got us some sparring up in Philly. And it was like a newborn baby smiling when he got to get in there and work. So he was happy with that.
Up to some point, we get a little bit antsy, be like, oh man, no, I gotta hit something. Like, come on, I can't, just be outside, just doing training every day. I want to get in the ring. It's almost like, like how, a football player would be like, practicing, doing, practicing plays a little bit, but unless if you do like a scrimmage or you got full pads on, you're not really getting the full experience out of that.
Yeah, true that. He was able to get that fullness of it by being able to get sparring in. And like I said, we're dealing with the whole Mayweather promotions team. Derrick goes with us out of town when we got a spot, so he was there. So it takes some of the stress off Jalil. If something ain't right, then Derrick steps in and say, hey, we done with that. And it's not, we're going to ask Jalil. This is the way. I'm his employer, so if I'm his employer, hey, I'm telling you we're not doing it. So, that really helps a lot with making sure everything stays on track for Jalil.
That's not. I have a question for Jalil. Being there in the DC area with such a history, in the sport of boxing, and the notable fighters that are out there in the DC area right now, like how is it to kind of like be part of that? And once you have your professional debut, that you'll be following those fighters' footsteps.
It feels great, man. Definitely since I'm signing with a big promotion company like Mayweather Promotion, it feels real good with all the hopes and dreams. They starting to all come together because as a younger fighter, coming up in the amateurs, it's all you fighting. You hoping you get into a situation with a big promotion company, and now that I'm actually here, this is really big for me, my family, for everybody who's helped me with this journey.
Gotcha. I'm trying to see here if I got caller in here. 202 area code. Y'all now there with us?
Yes. I called.
Yeah. 202 883. Yeah, we're seeing if they're on there with us. But going back to brother Jalil there, like you do have that did have that experience recently over in the Philadelphia area, but going back to like DC, like I was saying, we with all the talented fighters there and everything like that, and you have the notable gems and that type of thing. Like, have you do you have one particular experience that you had that kind of like stuck with you?
One particular experience that's really stuck with me was my very first time traveling out of the country. Honestly, before other than all the training, all the anything.
Mm-hmm.
The most specific experience was my first time traveling out of the country, because I was real nervous at first. And then I was told by another fighter, no matter where you are, boxing is always going to be the same. So you just go out there and fight and do your thing, and you're going to be fine. And I went to that tournament, and I won the tournament. And the rest of it is just history.
Yep, gotcha. Let me see if I could add in a caller in here. I think from the 646 area code. I'm not sure what his title is at this particular point, because it's been an up and down relationship with a certain fighter that he was the president of the fan club for. But he's on with us here anyway. 646, what's going on? This is we have Jalil Major Hackett on here with us. With his father and trainer. Coach Bernard Hackett, and he has his advisor with us, here from TMT, Derrick Curry. Oh, see, no, I thought you. Oh, see. No, I thought you said you dropped your title as president of the Deontay Wilder fan club.
Stop that. Stop that. Heavyweight champion of the world, twerking.
Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, listen, man. He was just testing out his arm,
Oh, man. You'll have a question for Coach Bernard or Jalil Major Hackett here.
What you guys have been doing, stay in shape during the pandemic? Because you got a lot of fighters, mainly this guy from the UK, Louis Gonzalez, who's saying that he's not going to be ready for a fight that's 10 weeks away. So I'm trying to figure out what the fighters are doing to stay in shape, to make sure that when your number is called, that you're ready for action. We've since the pandemic started, we've been doing a whole lot of conditioning, and we've been doing it from home, of course. We've been doing a whole lot of conditioning as far as cardio and weight, to keep the lungs nice and big. And plus, we keep in contact with our promotion company. And that's what I do like about Mayweather Promotions. They always make sure they keep in contact as far as me as a fighter and me as a person. So when it's time to fight, we are both on the same page. Okay. Do you have any particular opponents that you're looking at when you do get back from the pandemic? Right now, we just, as soon as the pandemic over, we're going to debut him. More than likely, he'll probably debut here in DC. We got an MGM casino and hotel and ballroom here. Yep. So he'll probably debut here. With the pandemic, you just don't know what direction it's going to go. Whether we're going to have an audience initially. I mean, for its debut, we would rather have an audience there for its debut. If that doesn't happen, and we got to do what we got to do, of course. We just can't, hold them back. But right now, just get his debut, get his feet wet, and then, after that, we gonna line them up.
Now, are you kind of looking to go the slow build route, or you looking to I know he's like the youngest ever to turn professional in the U.S., I believe. So it's like, are you guys looking to make that kind of Wilfredo Benitez history, or are you guys looking to slow build?
No, honestly, with him, we gonna put him in the best situation for him to win and become a world champion. And if that means that we gonna put him in with the best, then we'll do it. If not, we'll take our time.
That's all I really got, JR.
Yeah, now, going into that, they're like he's gonna have his pro debut and things like that. So, after that, it just depends on, the progression, of, Major there. So you kind of see where he could be at, within a year or 2 years from now. But where do you expect him to compete at by the time he's I would say 4 years into it?
Honestly, 4 years into it, I look for him, honestly, to definitely be a world champion. No doubt about it. Actually, in 4 years, he may have him down in two weight classes.
Yeah.
Well, weight classes are you looking at?
Right now, we may debut him at 140 or 147. If we start him off at 140, then he can go down. He can drop down to 147 to 140 after a couple of fights, and stay at 140 until we're ready to move him up to 147. Because he's so young, and his body's still developing.
Right.
He's still growing. His height's still growing. So he has, still a couple of years to even develop, physically. But he's already ahead of most fighters his age as far as physical ability.
Yeah, so being there around that 140 or 147 range, we already know that 147 is one of the glamour divisions in boxing right now, and you have 140, where it's been you've had great champions come through at 140 over the past few years. It doesn't matter from a Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford, or Lamont Peterson, from the DC area. So that's kind of a good place to have Major there starting off his pro career. But like you said, he could be bouncing up and down between 147 and 140 until like you said, he grows, and then see how his body adjusts with that growth.
Yeah, but that's 140 and 147 right now are the hottest division. Make no mistake about it. If that's where the action at, and the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, with Major, you kind of been, out and about as far as training and through fighting through the amateur ranks before you start off as a pro. But who would you say that you look up to, up to this particular point in boxing?
Growing up, I always watched a lot of the older fighters. When I first got into boxing, I watched the older fighters like Ray Leonard, Roy Jones, fighters like that. But as far as this era, a fighter that I've looked up to the most, and I'm not saying it because of Wilson Mayweather promotion or anything, is Floyd Mayweather himself as far as the overall fighter. Not just the inside the ring, we're talking outside the ring, how he handles the media, everything. Because Floyd, he's found a way to not only make money as a fighter, but make money as a businessman and entrepreneur as well. So that's a fighter I've really lived up to in the boxing world.
Yeah, because it's very important, in the sport where you're able to do your thing inside the ring, but outside the ring is very important as well. So kind of having someone like Floyd Mayweather Jr. there to look up to, that's pretty much the standard right now as far as like being able to direct your career, to a path that protects you, in every step. You know what I mean? So. So pretty much was gonna have like another question there as far as like like I said, being in DC, kind of like what would you like to do as far as like being a representative of the DC area in boxing?
I would like to take the area more. I would like to expand as far as what the area does. A lot of the guys from our area, they get to a point where they can do something big as far as, and I'm not talking about just boxing, I'm talking about anything. We got guys who sell clothes here, we got businessmen here, but they get to the point where they can be big and they settle for less. I feel like with me being up there in the higher ranks, I want to make our area known for not only just getting there, but getting there and succeeding.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, your question for Derrick. Now, a question for Derrick there. So with Jalil Hackett there with the money team, and of course you have that the moniker there being part of something associated with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like kind of like going to how that brand has had the name that it's had, not just with having Floyd Mayweather himself there, but working with other people within that organization.
If you look at Mayweather Promotions over the years before we even dealt with them, they've always tried to be trailblazers. They always wanted to do something that was outside the norm, whether it was being the first to put on a card where both fighters made more than $40 million. He's done that several times with him and Cotto, him and Pacquiao. Or whether it was how do you build the next situation. The Mayweather Promotion Group, along with Derrick Curry, they've actually, to me, and I've asked around to a lot of people, they've actually treated my son more of the way that you see being done in the music industry years ago. They've become like an A&R to him. Whether it was how you speak when you're with the media, how you dress when you're training, how you dress when you're going to be out seen. They've been really meticulous with every little thing so that the direction for success is not a hopeful, but it's a destined journey. That doesn't happen. My son was offered opportunities with some very good other promotion companies that we actually turned down. My son told me that he wanted to be with somebody who was promoting that looked like him and knew what he was going through. So each time we had an offer, I would sit down with my son and talk to him about it because he's becoming a young man. And I would let him make the final decision. He always said, I appreciate anything that comes, but that's not for me. And when we had this opportunity with the money team and with promotions, my son said, I feel like I'm with people who understand me, not just as a fighter, but as a young African-American man. That was what I was looking for from him. That's the maturity level that I wanted to see him with, because at the end of the day, when he signs a contract, he's the one that has to live up to it. So when he got the Mayweather situation presented itself, after he got a chance to meet Floyd, have dinner with Leonard, have Derrick make it where he can be at the different fights, he said, this is where I want to be. no matter how long it takes to get it done. This is where I want to be. And that part about them resembling him, that was the biggest thing for him. He wanted to have a promoter who knew what it was like to be black, not to be a boxer.
Yeah, gotcha. And you know, the thing there with Leonard Ellaby, you know, kind of like being, you know, having ties to the DC area himself, you know, that's, you know, kind of like an added thing there, you know, on top of that, because he you know, kind of knows the DC scene and, you know, what it means to be in Washington, DC, you know, over the years. Like, it's, you know, been, I'm like, for me, it's kind of like been a definite transition, you know, from the 60s, 70s, and, you know, me being there in the 90s to now, it's like completely different than what it was in the 90s. But, you know, you still have that, you know, little experience, you know, being black in the DC area, you know what I mean? So that's, you know, something that, I would say that Jalil shares with, you know, like Floyd Mayweather or Leonard Ellaby. So that kind of like says, okay, you know, this is basically where I want to be. So, you know, I guess Jalil made that decision because of that.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, true. That's true. I'm trying to see if I could add in another caller in from the 202 area code. I don't know if he's like been on hold or if he's been listening in and wanted to ask a question there. 20283, are you there to ask a question? It might still be busy or something like that, or listening in. You know, there, but you know, kind of like seeing as we had like about, you know, good amount of time here, about 30 minutes or so. You know, I would say like we pretty much got everything we needed here, but you know, I would say that I'm definitely, you know, gonna keep tabs with y'all. And you know, once you know y'all have the pro debut solidified, make sure that I'll get in contact with y'all to get all the details for me.
Yes, definitely. We'll make sure that you get those details today.
Gotcha. So well, I'd like to thank all of y'all for coming in here. You know, Bernard, Jalil, and Derrick. For taking the time to be on the Boxing Source radio show. And like I said, you know, definitely we'll be hearing from y'all in the future.
Thanks for having us, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, folks there. So that was a, you know, great conversation there that we had with, you know, Team Jalil Hackett. You know, he was able to, you know, come on and speak a little bit to, you know, what's happening, you know, here in the current scene and whatnot. So, you know, very thankful for him to, you know, come on here and speak a little bit. So that's something that we're going to definitely be looking out for here in the future once, you know, action comes back up. Like they said, once they, you know, have these the restrictions lifted as far as like having crowds in arenas, then you'll be able to see Jalil Hackett there in action for his pro debut. It said it would be around 147 to 140 pounds. So that's going to be definitely something to look out for. You know, I would say, you know, this upcoming week, you know, we still have action there in Top Rank. I know that one caller on here is not really much of a fan at all of these Top Rank cards. Not even the Carlos Takam Jerry Forrest fight. Oh, man.
The villain that they have to sell. It's going to be Jerry Forrest or Carlos Takam. Who's the villain that needs to sell since they're both black?
Oh, I don't know. They'll probably run out of things to say, man. What is it, Joe Tessitore or Mark Kriegel? They might run out of things to say once that main event comes up or something like that, man.
That's why I was had to say when he said that he wanted some real representation and not just somebody who boxes. I understand that, because if you look at the way how top-ranked disrespected Shakur Stevenson on the air, you understand that, hey, listen, I know people don't want to say, oh, support people support me, but listen, these guys are actually trying to sell fighters. They're actually trying to sell the fighters. They're not, well, he's the next Floyd Mayweather. He's the next. No, we're trying to sell these fighters on their own merits, trying to use their stories so that you can relate to them.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I respect that a lot. I loved when I heard him say that. Yeah, I wanted to hear that. Don't sign with Oscar. Just sign with Oscar.
That definitely be a problem. Yeah, you sign with Oscar, and that's definitely it. But you got all that other news that we're talking about during the week as far as like the lightweight division. You had the thing with Javier Fortuna against Jorge Linares. Of course, you got in September, Vasyl Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez, and then they ordered that fight, between King Rai and Cool Hand Luke. So, that lightweight division is, a little bit of action, but some people doubt that Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell's going to jump off.
Easy work, man. Garcia better take that fight.
Yeah, I'd definitely take that fight because I'd be in line for at least a world title one way or another, whether it's the WBC Diamond title or, the actual world championship. But they say that this particular fight would be a mandatory for the WBC title that Devin Haney currently has. So, that's something
as I understand it, there's two mandatory. So, Bernardes is actually going to get the first crack at Devin Haney. And then Devin Haney is going to have to fight another mandatory back-to-back. This is what Suleiman came out and said today. He said Haney's going to get a voluntary that's going to be announced in the coming days. And then after that, he's going to have to do two back-to-back mandatories.
Oh, man. So they're going to have whatchamacallit ready for him. Like the, what is it? Yvonne Mendy. They can have Yvonne Mendy ready for him. It's a voluntary defense. Oh, man.
I hope not. Listen, Haney said it's a big fight. He came out on social media, got a big fight coming up. I hope you think Yvonne Mendy is a big fight.
Man, if they say Yvonne Mendy is that big fight, man, I'm telling you, I'm going to be really laughing, laughing uncontrollably if that's the case. You know what I mean?
To me, for Russell or Buck, because everybody else is scared off. Now, if you got a guy Russell who's coming up from another division, I could accept that. I could really accept that. But I'm not trying to hear Yvonne Mendy. I don't want to hear George Campbell. I don't want to hear Lee Selby. None of that.
Yeah, that can't work. That can't work at all if they're gonna try to put Devin Haney in there with one of those guys. That would be a bad look, definitely. So yeah, it's got to be somebody that's either a top ranked fighter that's moving up, or someone that he kind of like is out there that's fairly notable. Hopefully it's not. Yeah. I don't know if they would give up like somebody like a Richard Comey for him to fight. That would be another thing. That would be hilarious if that happened right there. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what they have going on with that. And the other thing that is they've been kind of talking about is this thing still here with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, man. They're trying to shoot for having that fight in December, because they really want to try to have a crowd. And you said that they're attempting to try to put it at Allegiant Stadium. I mean, hey, if they're able to pull that off, I mean, that would be notable. It would probably be that that first fight over in the Legion Stadium. So why not make it a fight for a heavyweight championship of the world there? You know what I mean?
I can't wait for that. A lot of people, they've been talking spicy about Wilder. I love it. I'm listening to it all. I'm taking it all in. I love it. Keep that spicy talk going. Like Wilder ain't got no chance against Fury. He's coming back, man. The autopsy results showed that he had a dent in his head, okay? Now he can come back to life. Everything's all healed. Everything's healed, man. The autopsy was right. Now he's Lazarus rising from the dead, man. Just watch. That boy Deontay Wilder, man. But did you see what's going on with Derrick Curry?
With the thing with him and DeBella?
No. Apparently, Derevyanchenko has one offer for Jamal Charlo and one offer for Canelo, and he's gonna make a decision soon about which one he's gonna fight.
I'm kind of sensing that he might lean towards that Canelo joint because who knows when.
And I fight Canelo.
Yeah, I mean you would have had that shot earlier, and they didn't lock down the deal last year. Well, or whatever it was, because that he was gonna fight Kovalev. So now he might just get that give that shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's in a good position. Right?
He
can fight literally the best of 160 or the cash cow in the whole sport. So he's in a good position. He's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like Keith Connolly.
True. What you think about that situation there, Greg?
I mean, Derevyanchenko, like he says, in a great position. We already know he's durable. We already know he's skilled enough to make it a great fight. But to be honest, I just want to see Derevyanchenko win because I felt like with the Triple G fight, he got the raw deal.
Yeah,
that was a great fight. I just think if I was him, he gonna make money either way. I would leave Canelo alone because it's a lose-lose situation fucking with Canelo because even if he knocked Canelo out, they'll wake him up and make sure he beat the count before they let Derevyanchenko beat him. So if I was Derevyanchenko, I would take the opportunity with Charlo, and that way it would be more money against Canelo. You know what I mean? So, but he, like you said though, he's in a great situation either way.
Yeah, I mean, once you have those type of options, you could, really, work, a few deals to get a little bit more out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be a good little position there for Sergey Derevyanchenko out there. So, I mean, that's going to be something to watch there in the next few days and things like that to see, what happens with him and, what his announcement is going to be out there. So, anything out in rumor report land? Yeah.
They announced that Alexander has officially been stripped of the regular welterweight title, and that Jordanis Ugas is being ordered to fight for it against Abel Ramos.
So it sounds like they're giving Ugas a title.
Not necessarily. Ramos is a decent fighter. I mean, he did knock out Peralta, even though that was Jack Reese again. Jack Reese waving off the fight. Jack Reese, of course. He had this guy trying to do the hokey at the end of the fight and then waved it off because he couldn't shake it all about. So, it is what it is with that, man. But let's see what Ugas does. Honestly, I would rather see Ugas go for the Crawford fight, but doesn't look like Crawford's going to fight anybody. Eddie Hearn just came out and said that the Kell Brook fight is not happening because they can't afford Kell Brook. So who the hell is Terrence Crawford gonna fight?
I mean, he's going to fight somebody enough to keep him sharp, but we got to be fair. You know what I mean? The arena money counts too. It's not just the pay-per-view money and the network money. You know what I mean? They want the arena money too. So when they say that about Kell Brook, it's because Kell Brook sells out arenas. He does. He sells out arenas. So you know what I mean? When it comes to a big, we're not gonna get a mega fight until they open everything up.
I don't know about that. I don't think we're gonna get a mega back and forth regardless.
Nah. You can't talk like that. You can't talk like that. It can't, because you sound like the rest of the people hating on Crawford. You can't. Crawford is in a situation. He's in a situation just like the rest of these fighters, and we all know business gets done at a table. It doesn't get done in the ring. And we all know it's not these guys' fault. If these guys wanted to fight each other, it'd be easy if it was up to them. But it's not up to them. It's up to the big heads, the big wigs. So we know why these fights not being made.
Yeah, I mean, you see what it did with Teofimo Lopez. Like, Lopez wasn't going to fight unless there was going to be a crowd out there, watching the fight. So, even though he did want, Vasyl Lomachenko, he's like, yo, if they don't have fans in the seats, man, then I ain't gonna go through with it. So, you got that same situation there with Terrence Crawford on that.
Yeah, but so if he gonna get that,
incumbent upon the fighter to take the loss. Watching the fighter is the only one that's getting punched in the face. Okay? Bob Allen is not getting punched in the face. Todd DeBuff's not getting punched in the face. Neither is Carl Moretti. So why is it they want the fighter to subsidize the promoters?
Because
the promoters that have the big network deal.
But this is the thing.
We don't have an ESPN deal.
But this is the thing, though. We act like we don't know the answer. We know why. The only way we could change it is for fighters to be their own promoters. But how hard is that? That's a hard thing to do. So just like the beginning of the time, huh? Put it like this. Just think with me real quick. I live in Philadelphia. There's over 60 gyms in Philly. Philly is only 9 miles across. You get what I'm saying? It's not that big of a city. So you mean to tell me we got fights let's say every week? You gonna buy a $50 ticket every week to go watch a different kid every week? And these kids. How? These kids are from the ghetto. So that's becoming a bill. That's $200 a month. That's $200 a month coming out of a household who probably only make $16 a month.
Like, and how they're going to go through the technicalities of booking a venue. Going through that.
Well, when you promoting yourself, you don't have to book the whole venue. You don't have to book the whole venue. You can buy a slot, like I said earlier. But that's hard when these kids don't have any money or they don't have the money backing them. So you always gonna need a source of money. You're gonna always need a source of money, and that's why the game is the way it is. It's fighting dogs legally. Fighters are the dogs. And the best thing they can do is try to make it so that they can keep most of their money. But you're never going to go 100%. Not even Mayweather went 100%. Even though he pretends that he's giving everybody game and he's telling this and telling that, he's not telling the beginning story. He's telling the end of the story. He's not telling the beginning where he lost a lot of money or he was, bamboozled out of a lot of money.
Hey, that's when he was messing with Uncle Bob.
Yeah, but that's not just Bob. It's all of them. It's all of them. It ain't just Bob. Trust me, it's not just Bob.
It's like every one of those promoters have control of these, venues. They have control of, working with the, athletic commissions. They have, control of those.
And we forget about the TV networks.
Yeah, the TV networks,
because they're the ones putting up the money. TV networks putting up the money, so they want to see who they want to see too. Yeah. Because they know why those ratings jump.
So why does fighter basically follow the PBC model and join the PBC?
All right, let's be real. How long has the PBC model been alive?
Basically, I want to say
No, 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 no. Let's be real. No, let's be real. How long? Let's be real. How long has the? But you answering your question. You ain't let me answer. How long has the PBC model been alive?
I would say
At least a decade. We talking 10 years. Crawford has been Crawford's been pro longer than 10 years. Okay. So this what I'm trying to tell you is what you're speaking on is a new thing. Everybody is not able and everybody is not aware of that motto. It's not that easy. Bro, who's to say? Who's to say? Let's you know what you forgetting? You one of them guys, and I'm not disrespecting you, and I don't want you to disrespect me in return. But you sound like one of those guys who read things and then you repeat what you read. Because what I want you to understand is in those business deals, it's not what we speak about at this table is not to be spoken to the world. So how do we know Bob didn't offer him more money than PBC did? How do we know that? How?
No matter what Bob offered him, we still know that his old promoter, Chris Middendorf, is still getting 8% of everything. So he has to pay Bob on top of paying Chris Middendorf.
Yeah.
When if he would have been smart enough to get out of his top ranked contract, then that contract with Middendorf would be invalid. But because he beat-ups with top rank, he owes Middendorf 8% of everything.
They don't do. All right, so the part that you jumping over, right? That you're not being real about. What that means is Middendorf put him in a contract he didn't understand before he got with Bob. So even if he wasn't with, so hold on. Even if he wasn't with Bob, he still will owe the 8%. Because that is true. Listen to me. Listen to me, bro. Listen to me. Did he do the? Listen to me. Middendorf. I know Chris Middendorf. I have his phone number in my fucking phone. Chris Middendorf in top. Listen to me. Chris Middendorf and Top Rank are not one. You just said he signed with Chris Middendorf before he signed with Top Rank. You said that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that means his business with Chris Middendorf is separate than the business he had with Top Rank.
No.
Oh,
Top
man.
Rank bought out the contract when the original company went out of business.
What original company?
And so Middendorf had a partner. Okay, because you say you know Chris Middendorf, but now you're acting like you don't know him.
No, it's not acting like you trying to be funny. It's not acting like I don't know him. What I'm trying to tell you is Crawford signed a contract with Chris Middendorf that he must have not read over or not had anybody read over, and it held 8% of his check no matter where he go. No matter where he go. If a man had a chance to go to somewhere better, why wouldn't he go? But I'm telling you why he didn't go. Because Bob gave him more money than PBC offered. Now, I'm telling you how he did it. He didn't give it to him on contract. He gave it to him in a briefcase, and then we're going to put this on the contract. You understand? That's how that went. Because ain't no way if I got a better opportunity right across the street, why wouldn't I go over there? I got another one for you. So if Mayweather really offered Shakur Stevenson $2 million to sign with him, how come he didn't sign with him?
Who's Shakur Stevenson's manager?
What do that mean?
Who's Shakur Stevenson's manager?
It's Jay Prince.
Okay, here's your answer.
That don't mean nothing.
Oh my God.
What you telling me? All you telling me is Jay Prince does business with Top Rank. Okay, fine. But if it's a better deal over at TMT, so what you telling me?
have a very checkered history, which we all know about. It's well documented. So let's not act like they're in a...
What I'm trying to tell you is, bro, listen to me, bro. There's guys in this business who hate each other, but because of the money, they got to come together. Ain't no way we can't make a deal. I'm telling you the only reason Crawford went back over there is because Bob gave him the money. Bob gave him the money that he was looking for.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like how you have these co-promotional deals now. And remember, like we know of a guy that was, retired that had to go through the whole thing with the contract, and that was Andre Ward.
Every fighter does.
Pretty much every fighter does. Hey, shoot, Canelo. Even Canelo goes through the same thing. So, like, these guys start off with one particular promoter, and when they start off, it's like, okay, either I'm having my pro debut or I've had like a few fights, but I'm not getting much anything. Here comes a promoter. He gives me such a deal that's, significantly more than what I've been making. But if I don't have the knowledge to like read over the contract, because most of these promoters, you know this, Matt, they're like lawyers. So they know the legalese that they can put in these contracts.
How about this, though? Try this one on. How about the promoters be friends with the lawyers? You ever
either way, either one. Either they're a lawyer themselves, a former lawyer, or they know a lawyer.
The Top Rank stopped paying him the 8% fee that he was owed based on the language in the contract between Top Rank and Middendorf. Middendorf became involved with Crawford when Middendorf worked for TKO Boxing Promotion, and then they signed Crawford in 2010. In 2011, TKO Boxing Promotion was failing. The company negotiated with Top Rank to take over as Crawford's promoter. So the deal is between Top Rank and TKO, under which TKO would be paid 8% fee based upon Crawford's purse for any title defenses going forward. And it says that TKO assigned its rights to Middendorf Sports under a contract drafted by Top Rank.
Okay, so the question was why did he resign? That was the question.
You know what?
That's the real answer. Because they're just saying they must have offered more money, but I don't think that's really the reason.
That's what you listen. That's what you don't think. But like I'm trying to tell you, bro, boxing is no different from the streets. The only thing is different is this shit is being televised. It's no different from the streets, bro. I promise you that. I'm down to my toes. I promise you.
Yeah,
it's no different.
And I'm telling you, hey, if you really want to, what I'm saying, maybe next week or a couple of weeks from now, we can get Middendorf on the podcast. Get him on and get the whole thing straight. You know what I'm saying? Well, ain't nothing but a thing if we could get that crack-a-lack. And I got, my guy Greg Hackett here, so he said he deals with him. So, I mean, ain't no problem with that. So we can get that. Yeah, we can get that settled up because I know we could get him. And I know I still need to get Bomac on there for you. So, definitely need to get Bomac on. Yep. Yeah, man. Oh, shoot. And he got the Maryland area code, man. That's like that Montgomery. Yeah, we go get him on. Yo, we gonna get him on. But, with that being said, man, I'm going to close out this particular podcast, man. Thanks to Jalil Major Hackett for being on with his father, trainer, Coach Bernard, and his manager there from TMT. Here, I was just doing this thing here live over in Philadelphia, PA. Big thanks to Greg Hackett here, right from man. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
And it's like I say at the end of every show, folks, the point of boxing is to hit and not get hit, not to stand and trade. On that note, I'm out. Have a good evening, everybody.
10 seconds.